Hey everybody, it's Miss MK with Boys and Girls Club. Now I normally show you lots of cool videos about different STEM activities that you can do, but something that people don't always think about when they think about STEM or science are cooking and baking, when in reality those actually have a lot of different science components in them. Because when food breaks down a certain way, it undergoes different physical and chemical changes that you actually see in a lot of different science experiments, for example. So I'm going to show you today how to make some spiced apples, which I think are really good. It kind of tastes like the inside of an apple pie filling the longer you let it go. And I'm going to show you what I mean by some of these different chemical and physical changes. So let me show you. Okay, so some of the ingredients that we have here are a green apple, a little bit of lemon juice, a half a teaspoon of brown sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And so what you're going to do is that these will all eventually come together and start to change up the apples to make them go from this crisp look to the broken down pieces that you would see in an apple pie filling. So let me show you a little bit more. See, this is what an apple really looks like in the beginning, where it has a little bit more of a white inside, very bright outside, and it'll snap when it breaks because it's got a very firm texture to it. But when we see it react with heat, it begins to actually look like this. See, the apple breaks down a little bit more, causing a little bit more brownness on each of the insides, a little bit of a duller green color on that skin, but it begins to break down the apple from its original form, causing it to undergo both a physical change in how it physically looks, but it also undergoes a chemical reaction. So the cool thing about this is that you actually don't even need a lot of sugar or spices for this if you don't really want to, because fruit has natural sugars inside of it that allow it to break down and start to cause all this little browning of the different edges and stuff like that, which is really cool because that's how it begins to let out more of its sugars and make things taste a little bit sweeter. But what we're going to do is you can either eat them like that or you can add all the remaining ingredients, which is what I'm going to do. I think that makes them taste just a little bit better, and it also makes for a really good healthy snack, as well as, there we are, makes a healthier snack, or even could be a good dessert if you think about it. There's lots of sweetness going on in here. So the longer that these cook, the more they're going to start to break down all of the sugars inside of them, and it makes for a really, really fantastic smell. You're gonna let these go on, this is gonna help it up just a little bit more due to that lemon. And see that browning that's happening? That's already starting to cause some more of that sugar caramelization and the breaking down of that apple. So you're going to leave this going on, I put it on a low to a medium-low heat, and I let it go for about 10 to 15 minutes because it's much easier to add heat and add time than it is to take it away. It's one of those things that I've learned from cooking over time. And so the longer you let this go, the more you're going to see that those juices come out, some of that apple pie, goo or slime kind of form as these break down a little bit more. And it's going to make a really fantastic treat the longer you let it go. But again, you just have to keep kind of watching it, take a look at about that 10-minute point, and then take it to your taste to see, oh, is this done the way that I like it? Because that'll change how much longer you have to cook it, or what other kind of changes you have to make to this. But yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this today, and I really hope that when you get a chance to try this recipe, it's going to be something that makes you smile. So y'all have a really good day, and keep up the science and keep up the cooking. Have a good one.